Ladies and gentlemen, the DOJ's special counsel is trying to block and prevent Jim Jordan from obtaining classified documents relating to the criminal investigation that the federal government or the executive branch is undertaking against Biden. So there's a criminal investigation within the special counsel because of classified documents floating around everywhere, being repackaged and rewritten and summarized by potentially Hunter and everyone around Joe. So this is all over the New York Post, the Daily Mail, Federalist publications that will actually discuss this and investigate this. The issue now is, does the special counsel have the ability to block Jim Jordan? It does not. So the DOJ, Garland, is saying, well, there's an ongoing investigation. We can't give Congress the information on the classified records that they need. So New York Post, DOJ won't give Representative Jim Jordan info on Biden classified documents probes. NBC News, Justice Department denies GOP request on Biden classified documents. So the reason they're doing that, and they're saying, well, gosh, we can't do that because we already started the special counsel, but the special counsel is ultimately beholden to Congress, according to the Supreme Court. So here, this is an article, this is a report, a Congressional Research Service, the special counsel's report, Can Congress Get It? And here you have, so this was during the Mueller probe against Trump, which found absolutely nothing. And if this goes to the Supreme Court, because I think that they'll impeach Biden way before it'll go to the Supreme Court, but the Supreme Court will side with Congress. You can't just utilize a special counsel to block Congress from relevant information so it can prosecute or investigate its own probes. You can't just say, well, it's an ongoing, this is when the Federal Bureau of Investigation goes before Congress, and you have Comey or Christopher Wray or anyone else, and they say, yeah, we can't, or McCabe, or we can't tell you because it's an ongoing criminal investigation. We have to protect sources and methods. So what they're doing in a political sense is preventing any discussion or any revelation that could harm, politically, their agency or Democrats or their favored politician. But here, quote, additionally, Congress may seek information stemming from the special counsel investigation through sources other than the special counsel. For example, Congress could seek the special counsel's testimony directly, or Congress could opt to seek documents or testimony from grand jury witnesses themselves. So Jim Jordan could do that. In addition, whereas Rule 6 protects only applicable grand jury materials, executive privilege could apply to a broader range of information. Okay. However, the scope of the privilege is unsettled, especially with respect to law enforcement information. Moreover, even if information is protected, executive privilege is generally qualified and can be surmounted if Congress can show an overriding need for the information. Former President Trump continually lost legal battles to Congress by claiming executive privilege. Okay, I think the same thing would result if Jim Jordan went to the Supreme Court and said, hey, wait a second, they're not giving us, we have our own investigations. These investigations supersede the executive branch investigating itself. Okay, and the special counsel is part of the executive branch, the Department of Justice is part of the executive branch. So I think that the Supreme Court would rule in favor of Jim Jordan, even though I don't even know if it's going to get to that point. I think they're going to initially subpoena individuals. And then if these individuals, maybe Hunter or Joe or people around Hunter and Joe, and they make the case, so Jordan and James Comer are going to make the case for impeachment. And the impeachment is going to be expedited the more the DOJ blocks or prevents access to relevant information. Okay, hit subscribe to this channel every day at 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. In the mornings, we will have videos to my 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. crew. Thank you so very much. It means a great deal to me, and it's very important. I should have done this years back, but it's very important to have viewers ready and waiting. And I'm just privileged to have the mornings with you. So every morning while you're riding to work or, eating breakfast, drinking coffee. Watch H.A. Goodman on YouTube at 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. Pacific time. I should have a live stream tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, numerous uploads and videos today. H.A. Goodman's other channel, hit subscribe there. Starting February 1st, I will start doing much longer segments, and I will do corresponding segments. So every video you see here, there will be a video on H.A. Goodman's other channel, like 30 minutes after. So we're going to start growing both channels, and we're over 203,000 subs. It's because of you, and I'm very, very grateful. To my new Patreons, I cannot thank you enough. Your Patreon support, $1, $5, $10, whatever. It's so important, and it's so, I just thank you so very, very much, especially as an independent content creator. Super thanks is below. Go to hagoodman.com to read my writing on The Hill, The Huffington Post Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, and other publications, and become a member of this channel. Some pretty cool perks. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, what they're doing is they're doing a whole bunch of things. So now Democrats, like people like Chuck Todd, they're saying, well, how come you're not investigating the politicization of or the weaponization of the government when Trump was in office? The opposite is true. And so he goes to Jim Jordan just the other day and says, well, what about Trump went after Eric Swalwell and Adam Schiff? Both of those individuals continually accuse Trump of things he never did. So the logic now is, how come you're going after the people who accuse Trump of things he never did? How dare you how dare you investigate the investigators who routinely used unverified, fabricated information to level the most absurd allegations against Trump and to start government agencies investigating Trump? How dare you do that? When was the last time a Steele dossier was purchased against President Obama or Bill Clinton or George W. Bush? That never happened before. So many things that never happened before happened against Trump. Now, media is saying, well, it's not fair that you're going after the people who, in the most despicable manner, went after Trump purely for politics, because they've convinced themselves that all the investigations into Trump were just, oh my goodness, apolitical. He was a big menace to national security, even though we're now 90 seconds or 60 seconds to midnight, okay, according to the doomsday clock. Okay, we're closer to the end of the planet than ever before, and Biden and Democrats have run the country for the past 2 years. Okay, so that should tell you how important Trump was. And we had record low unemployment and poverty with Trump in 2019. What Democrats did, and I say this with love and respect for everybody, whether you're Democrat, socialist, communist, libertarian, Trump supporter like myself, never Trumper, I'm voting for Trump because I want a great economy and a great foreign policy. If you think all the hysteria among media the past 7 years was not political and just purely a normal and natural reaction to Donald Trump, well, then you're sadly mistaken. Former President Trump is not the caricature they make him out to be. He might have a unique personality, but he did good things. And the Doha Agreement is an example of that. The peace deals, the reason that he forced Biden's hand into removing Americans, those Americans would still be there. The Doha Agreement was not an example of Biden's foreign policy. We see what's taking place in Europe. That's Biden's foreign policy. Anyway, hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen. And then they say, well, we had intelligence agencies back the Democrats. Well, John Ratcliffe and Richard Grenell, they were in the intelligence community also. They backed a great deal of what Trump was saying on a lot of topics. So are you going to just use an appeal to authority when it suits you? What about when John Ratcliffe and Richard Grenell were leading the top spy agencies under Trump, and they disagreed, and they said the Democratic Party narrative on a bunch of topics was completely wrong? Anyway, the point is they're using a special counsel to block relevant classified information to Jim Jordan and James Comer. This will not work out well, because eventually they'll start demanding testimony, issuing subpoenas, and they will then expedite the They will expedite impeachment. So you're going to get impeachment sooner, not later, if the special counsel prevents these documents from being seen. Give me your thoughts below. I'll be back at 11 a.m., everybody. Thank you.